According to the Bank of PNG, if Papua New Guinea is placed on the grey list by the Financial Action Task Force of FATF, it could seriously affect the economy. Being grey-listed means the country is seen as not doing enough to prevent financial crimes like money laundering. This could reduce investor confidence and make it harder for PNG businesses and individuals to send or receive money overseas. Even simple services like using Western Union could be limited. And PNG would be given a list of actions it must take to improve. The government would need to regularly report progress to the FATF, and the international community would expect clear and fast improvements. The banking sector is ready to help the government to improve PNG's status on the list, and the next step they would take is to impose stricter due diligence.
What we see from the financial institutions' perspective, almost immediately there will be stricter due diligence. And by me saying that, there'll be more scrutiny placed on customer onboarding and even ongoing monitoring of these customers. Transactions will be scrutinized to ensure legitimacy of the funds and to identify red flags, because that's what the regulator will expect us to do.
Ms. Punau also expressed the negative impacts of grey listing on the sector.
There'll be obviously increased scrutiny leads to delays in transaction processing, which then increases our operational cost for keeping compliance and overall ultimately impacting the customer experience. So that's what we are sort of expecting that will happen. There'll be strict monitoring and reporting for the financial institutions, and that's on AML issues and challenges. And we expect that from the regulator and mostly our correspondent banks. Banking relationship. This strict monitoring and reporting we see will go for as long as PNG remains on the grey listing.
Leo Kamara from Credit Corporation shared similar views. Kamara also highlighted concerns of reputational damage.
There'll be additional time and effort and resources placed into undertaking customer due diligence, monitoring transactions, inward and outward. There is the risk of de-risking. So this is where correspondent banks pull out of a country in terms of maintaining correspondent banking relationships. We feel like that will be an area to look out for.
However, Ricky McDonald, who is the former executive secretary of FATF, provided some comfort as to how foreign banks react to such situations.
My one point in relation to them is that the experience around the world in relation to DNFBPs has been that regulators don't use the acts to begin with. They will give some time for the embedding of these systems. I'm now moving away from the FATF grey listing for a second, to try to ensure that there's an understanding and systems are developed in the DNFBPs to meet the expectations of the legislation and the regulation. So that is one bright aspect, that you won't be clobbered too early as a country. But there will be an expectation that the law and amendments to the law will be enforced and implemented ASAP.
Meantime, PNG has now until October to submit its report, and if found to have not met the requirements, PNG will be put on the grey list by February next year. Ruth Rungola, TV1 News.